Indonesia Tzu Chi volunteers hold groundbreaking ceremonies for construction projects in Bandung and Cengkareng DaAi village. We join Tzu Chi University students in making scented sachets in preparation of the upcoming Dragon Boat Festival. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Mary Lee. Thank you for joining us. We start today's program in Indonesia. Jakarta Tzu Chi volunteers held a groundbreaking ceremony at Cengkareng DaAi village for the some 500 dormitories that will be used by medical staff of the upcoming Jakarta Tzu Chi hospital. Meanwhile, in West Java, Tzu Chi volunteers held a groundbreaking ceremony for a new Jingsi Hall in Bandung.
Bandung is the capital of West Java in Indonesia and is often referred to as the Paris of Java for its beautiful scenery. Today, volunteers from the Tzu Chi Bandung Liaison Office are holding a groundbreaking ceremony at a new Jingsi Hall. The special occasion is joined by the director and deputy director of the Tzu Chi Indonesia chapter, Tzu Chi Global Volunteer Coordinator Huang Sixien, Governor of West Java Province, and others.
Master Cheng Yen says that we don't need to look for good feng shui. Lucky person lives in lucky places. Lucky places don't make a person lucky.
I'm very supportive of the plan to build a Jingsi Hall. When the Jingsi Hall is established, I hope volunteers can organize more Tzu Chi related activities.
Embedded with the love and blessings of the local government, very soon, Tzu Chi volunteers will have a new spiritual home in Bandung. Meanwhile, in Jakarta, a groundbreaking ceremony is held at Cengkareng DaAi village for the dormitories of future medical staff of the Jakarta Tzu Chi Hospital.
Before building the Tzu Chi Hospital, we want to build domes for our medical staff because their well-being is our top priority.
We need to have a comfortable and welcoming place for our medical staff to rest after their shifts. By doing so, they can put all their strength into caring for patients.
Tzu Chi plans to build 452 dormitories, and the construction is estimated to be completed by November of 2015. Once finished, staff members of the new Jakarta Tzu Chi Hospital will have a place to rest and recharge.
At the recent Buddha Day ceremony and rice distribution event held in the Philippines on May 11th, Tzu Chi volunteers distributed some 14,000 bags of rice to impoverished families. Among the recipients was a senior couple who sell vegetables for a living. Despite their hardship, the seniors set aside a portion of the rice they received to share with their neighbors and friends.
This is San Mateo, 25 kilometers east of the Philippines capital, Manila. This is also where the Rizal couple resides. Almost 80, Mrs. Rizal travels kilometers on foot each day to harvest vegetables.
I leave the house at 5 every morning and come here to harvest vegetables for sale.
Mrs. Rizal makes between $1 to $6 a month selling vegetables to her neighbors, while Mr. Rizal works as a traffic controller in his community, making $35 a month. Together, the couple can barely make ends meet.
If I don't work, we will have no income. We won't have money to buy rice and pay the bills, so I have to work.
With a 20-kilogram bag of rice they received from Tzu Chi, the couple and their grandchildren can finally enjoy a decent meal. Although there were no additional dishes to go with the rice, the best flavor was the taste of happiness.
I set aside 5 kilograms of rice to share with my neighbors and friends.
Sharing with others despite their own hardship, the kind-heartedness of the Rizals makes them the spiritually rich among the poor.
At the end of Route 24 in southern Taiwan is the Rukai village of Adiri. Near the central mountain range, it is the highest Rukai settlement in Taiwan. However, Typhoon Morakot forced most of the villagers to relocate, save a couple. Still, even divided, the Rukai are working towards the common goal of preserving their culture and ancestral grounds.
Even if we have no money, we can still survive. I think it's impossible to tell someone to pick up a hoe and a sickle and go farm. Our only path of survival is the abundant natural resources provided by our indigenous settlement. We hope we can eventually draw our people back here.
Only Bao Taide and his wife remain at the Lukai settlement.
There are enough natural resources here to sustain us. We don't have to go hunting like before.
Bao's indigenous name is Terangalu, which means the guardian of the land. The survival skills he learned as a kid in the forest are serving him very well now.
There was the call of red-headed tree babbler. The indigenous name of the bird is Lai Lai. If you run into the bird, it means everything you have to do for the day will be carried out smoothly.
There's an abundance of wildlife in Adiri, which Bao and his wife carefully document.
This is from a surveillance camera which we keep outside for extended periods. This is what it recorded. This is a male swinhoe's pheasant.
The camera records the mountains and the forest 24 hours a day, reminding people of the long-forgotten beauty which most have left behind.
After Typhoon Morakot, the indigenous settlements on Route 24 had to make the crucial decisions to relocate. But we shouldn't just give up. We must never give up trying to preserve indigenous cultures. They will definitely find their own way.
Most of Adiri's villagers now make their home in the Changzi Baihe settlement. Here, they no longer have to worry about typhoons and floods. However, living on the plains, the elderly of the village still reminisce of their days on the mountain.
To temporarily ease their longing for their mountain home, we are planting red quinoa, millet and peanut. Whatever we planted on the mountain, we plant here.
The presence of the village elders also means the continuation of their culture. Wearing the traditional Rukai robe, children gather at the home of the village chief to learn their native tongue. In their new community, the villagers old and young can now mingle, which ensures the continuation of their culture.
Their parents can't even speak our native tongue. I fear if the language is lost, then so will our culture. I think we may still have a chance to save it by providing language lessons.
After they moved into these homes, they took the initiative to preserve the tradition of their village. And those back in the settlement haven't given up either, so these people can still find their way home.
On May 18th, Tzu Chis across the globe mobilized to promote Tzu Chi's recycling mission and vegetarian campaign. In Singapore, youngsters picked up litter and recyclables along the streets. Meanwhile, Tzu Chis in Melbourne, Australia, held a meatless cooking competition. But first, we go to Hong Kong to meet a group of Tzu Shaos, Tzu Chis, and Tzu Chi volunteers who cleaned up Butterfly Beach while promoting their environmental message to beachgoers.
To encourage members of the public to take on recycling, Hong Kong Tzu Chis have mobilized to pass on Tzu Chi's environmental message. At Butterfly Beach in Tuen Mun District, volunteers and Tzu Chis are here to help clean up.
Recycling shouldn't be limited to what textbooks can teach us. I asked these Tzu Chis whether they wanted to try recycling in the real world, and they all agreed to join.
2 hours later, volunteers had already collected several bags of recyclables and litter.
There are styrofoam, PET bottles, and plastic cups, all of which should not be here on our beach.
Tzu hold up signboards to spread their environmental message to several tourists who are enjoying a barbecue nearby. In Melbourne, Australia, Tzu Chis see who can make the tastiest vegetarian dishes. First up is a meatless curry.
And I didn't know how to cook curry without meat. And it was good that we learned also this activity showed that we can cook lots of delicious food without meat.
Adding extra flavor and creativity into their vegetarian meals, these youngsters have learned a valuable lesson. As part of their environmental campaign, 58 Tzu Chis in Singapore come together to clean up the area around 2 Tzu Chi recycling points.
This is not recyclable. Let's put it here.
Although the day is muddy and wet, no one complains as everyone remains focused on the task at hand.
Singapore is called the Garden City. However, if you look around on the streets, there are many things that require us to tend to.
We can recycle and reuse recyclables, so the destruction of our Mother Earth will be slowed.
Later, heavy rain comes again. However, the Tzu Chis and their companions do not falter, but instead collect the rainwater to wash recyclables and learn to make PET bottle stools.
Today, I have learned how to make a stool from a PET bottle. From now on, I will think twice before purchasing any goods. If possible, I would choose to make it myself.
Thanks to the efforts of these youngsters, Singapore, otherwise known as the Garden City, will continue to be true to its name.
It is customary in Taiwan to make and wear scented sachets during the Dragon Boat Festival. To uphold this tradition, Tzu Chi University's Office of Humanitarianism invited Tzu Chi volunteers to teach students how to make their own scented sachets using secondhand fabrics collected from a recycling station. Let's take a look.
As the gap is less than 1 millimeter, students strain their eyes trying to thread the needle. It is clear that most have limited needlework experience. After many failed attempts, some people finally cry out for help. Exquisite and colorful, everyone wants to make their own scented sachet. Although not easy to make, students all manage to prevail in the end. With one final step to be done, volunteers continue to cheer the students on. As the Dragon Boat Festival draws near, Tzu Chi University's Office of Humanitarianism invited Tzu Chi volunteers to show students how to make their own sachets using fabrics from old clothing collected from a recycling station, thus furthering the item's lease on life.
Recently, students at the Tzu Chi Junior College of Nursing and Fu Ying University paid a visit to Guanshan Tzu Chi Hospital to learn more about its medical culture rooted in humanistic values. We also joined 30 Tzu Chi entrepreneurs on a visit to Wangmu Temple in Luye, where they learned more about how Master Cheng Yen first went there in 1960 in search of the Dharma.
Gezi Tzu Chi entrepreneurs from Taiwan and abroad are here at a Wangmu temple in Luye, Taidong. This is where Master Cheng Yen first made her decision to become a Buddhist nun. Moved by the master's resolve to work for Buddhism and all beings, these entrepreneurs promised to invite more people to shoulder Tzu Chi's missions.
I want to take this spirit, this approach, and this seed and spread it across mainland China.
不是只有医院医疗而已，我们结合了，你看也有教育，也有人文，也有社区的，也有环保的，统统结合在一起。
Guanshan Tzu Chi Hospital's medical culture rooted in the humanistic values of love and humanity has set an example for students of Tzu Chi's Junior College of Nursing to follow.
Apart from treating patients, we are also helping community residents through community service. We hope our students can develop a mindset that upon graduation, wherever help is needed the most, that is where they should go.
顾的也是老人家，所以就是我们会顾，除了病人外之外，还有什么家属，还有小朋友。
The unity of the staff and the harmonious working environment at the hospital has drawn many students to further their career here.
This is my first time here, and it felt very warm and caring. I hope I can work here in the future.
Known for its medical professionalism and humanitarian culture, students and teachers from Fu-Ying University are also here for a visit. Safeguarding the health and well-being of local residents with love, these visitors experience firsthand the meaning of selfless giving.
DaAi Tzu Chi Hospital hosted a press conference for the DaAi drama Warmth at the Fingertips, which featured the story of the hospital's deputy superintendent, Dr. Chen Jingcheng. We now see what the good doctor's patients have to say about their real-life male lead.
At the press conference for the DaAi drama Warmth at the Fingertips, held at the DaAi Tzu Chi Hospital, the real-life main lead, Dr. Chen Jingcheng, is present along with patients.
When I first saw him, he was acting all cool and rarely smiled. I thought, what a strange doctor.
That is pretty much everyone's first impression of the deputy superintendent. However, beneath the cool facade is a compassionate heart that cares for all patients.
To give patients the proper treatment is the most important thing for me. However, how it is done can be adjusted. If you tell them right out, you are just being professional. But if you tell it to them in a way they can accept, that is an art.
Knowing that the Yunlin and Jiayi areas lack medical resources, Dr. Chen decided to return to his birthplace to practice medicine. For 4 years, he was the only doctor in the neurosurgical department and was responsible for everything that happened in the department.
Perhaps a patient suddenly has a seizure due to a cerebral hemorrhage. You may only have 1 to 2 hours to save him, which you will lose if you transfer him, so you must persevere. At the same time, you still have to give all your other patients your best. Those days were pretty hard. Because of the responsibilities, you could never really relax.
Saving life with his hands after being a doctor for all these years, Dr. Chen now knows he must not only treat his patients' illness, but save their hearts as well. He continues to take each surgery very seriously as he passes on warmth through his fingertips.
Early in May, a Mother's Day celebration was held by Tzu Chi volunteers in Beijing, China. Among the laughter and lightheartedness of the event, a touch of sorrow was felt as a family member of a passenger aboard Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 got on stage to remind everyone that fulfilling filial duties cannot wait. Here's more.
小时候，您是我的拐杖；大了，您是我的肩膀。长大后，我要第1个月的工资给您买衣服。我笑了，您却哭了。
At a Mother's Day celebration, 2 children read a poem outlining a child's gratitude and love for his parents. Next, children and Tzu Chis perform a section from the sign language musical of the Sutra of Profound Gratitude to Parents. Meanwhile, volunteers enact a sketch which moves the audience to tears. Before the main event, the tea serving ceremony begins, emotions are already high. A hug to seal the love. This warmth between families is extended to the entire audience, as snacks are passed and fed to one another. A Tzu Ching's Bianlian or Sichuan opera face-changing performance earned the audience applause. Amidst the laughter, a family member from the missing Malaysia airline Flight 370 gets on stage to share his thoughts on fulfilling filial piety.
You really must treasure those close to you, value our mothers while we still have the chance to perform filial duties. Don't wait until it's too late.
At this Mother's Day event, fun and laughter aside, lessons on filial piety are taken home. In Taiwan's New Taipei City, Tzu Chi volunteers brought the Buddha Day ceremony to the doorstep of volunteers that were unable to attend the ceremony due to illness. But first, we go to Thailand's Ratchaburi, where Tzu Chi volunteers brought the ceremony to patients' bedside.
Pushing a mobile cart with the statue of the Enlightened One, Thailand Tzu Chi volunteers are bringing the Buddha Day ceremony to hospital patients here in Puttaram District, Ratchaburi. Upon seeing the mobile cart with the statue of the Enlightened One, many patients, despite their illness, insist on paying their respects to the Buddha. Many say attending the Buddha Day ceremony is also a chance for them to do good deeds.
I'm feeling more at ease. I'm very happy to have the opportunity to do good deeds.
I'm very happy to be a part of this Buddha Day ceremony. I hope I can recover from my sickness as soon as possible.
I wish all the patients a speedy recovery. For those that don't have their family members by their side, I hope they can gain the courage to face their sickness.
This is 13-year-old scholarship recipient Kwang, who is here to volunteer as a way to reciprocate for the love and care she has received from Tzu Chi.
Today, I am using my spare time to spread the Buddha's Dharma far and wide and do good deeds.
Thanks to volunteers' visit, patients are more at ease and have gained the courage to face their illness. Meanwhile, in Taiwan's New Taipei City, Tzu Chi volunteers brought the Buddha Day ceremony to volunteer Liao Peng Chiu Yue's doorstep. Last year, upon discovering that she had tongue cancer, Liao Peng thought that she would never have the chance to honor the Buddha again. Thankfully, the volunteers are here to make her wish come true.
The Tzu Chi brothers and sisters have been praying for me. I'm truly thankful for that. I can recover so quickly from my illness is because of the blessings I have received. Thank you, everyone.
Upon seeing the volunteers, He Su-yu, who suffers from vocal cord cancer, burst into tears. Besides taking care of herself, He also has to look after her cancer-stricken father. Today, the volunteers have brought the Buddha Day ceremony to her home, hoping to help this family find peace of mind.
At the end of the show, we stay in Taiwan and go to Songshan District in Taipei City, where Tzu Chi DaAi mothers put together a play based on the story The Kind-Hearted Monkey to teach the little ones at the Qinling Kindergarten about the importance of having a compassionate heart and helping others. We will leave you with these images. Thank you for watching DaAi Headlines. Goodbye.